Hello, everybody. Nanaki here, and I got a story from mythee called Rifty-Shifty. This is Chapter 1, and it's called Dawn of the Shed. A wise pony once said that if you're going through hell, you better keep running, or you'll never leave. And that was one of the reasons why Rarity was absolutely, positively certain they had to get out of here. No matter their state. I mean, have you seen her hair right now? She had brought up the issue, no, not the hair one, with Applejack multiple times to no avail, and became convinced that the orange pony had turned dull from exertion. But she wasn't the only one. We're all tired, Applejack, but we need to leave. Surely we'll have better protection in Canterlot. We can't let Pinkie Pie's sacrifice be in vain, the unicorn insisted pleadingly, drawing a frightened gaze from the orange mare and some attention from a dozen or so other colorful ponies shuffling around nervously in the room. I told you already, I'm not leaving, through gritted teeth she added. Not before we run those monsters out of Sweet Apple Acres. Rarity breathed an exasperated sigh and slid onto her stomach to flail her legs up and down in torment, annoying nearby ponies out of all their friends. Why did she have to be stuck with one so stubborn? This is a disaster! Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy, and even Twilight Sparkle. Why didn't you take me with you? There's some explaining to be done. This dire situation had come out of the blue earlier this week. It all stemmed from an event being referred to as the Rift. Long-limbed beings began to emerge from the Everfree forest, mysterious raving creatures strangely intent on the ponies, especially on a select few of them, among which were those wielding the elements of harmony. They arrived by hundreds, and soon Twilight had left to investigate the cause and never came back. One could almost suspect a dark plot, if not for, well, get back to that later. Since town turned to chaos, many scattered, leaving to find a haven in other parts of Equestria. Other remains, holding themselves up in obscure places, such as the basement of an abandoned building, slated for demolition ever since Derpy actually started the process. The city's reaction to that was simply, why not? Come to think of it, Derpy, why are you here with us? All the Pegasi have left for Cloudsdale, where it's safe, spoke Shirley, attempting to peer over Derpy's wings to understand what she had been staring at since a while ago, which to her further confusion turned out to be the ceiling and the floor, each of her eyes simultaneously. Ah! The great mare suddenly took off, as if remembering something. I've got to go! This announcement succeeded in turning the deep pink teacher's shade of white, matched only by Rarity's flank. No, wait! She lunged at the younger pony, grabbing onto a leg, but Derpy was like an unstoppable force. Every pony scrambled onto their hoofs to leap and pile up on the flying pony, but none succeeded in pinning her down. She erupted through the roof, carrying no less than 3 ponies off with her, announcing their location to all that lurked below. The victorious yaying from those being carried up to safety was soon drowned out by unpony-like screaming from the streets. They had been spotted. Soon a small mob of invading organisms was sprinting towards the rickety shack, roaring hungrily. No pony would blame Charlie for Derpy's unpredictability, but didn't stop Rarity from making a show of this development. We're all doomed! She cried as Applejack dashed past her, taking the initiative. Snap out of it, Rarity! The orange pony led the way out of the shack, barking orders to the others for them to run out in formation. Clouds of dust lifted in their wake, which got Rarity to snap out of her drama for fear of absorbing any more of it into her coat. Save for later. It's time to get out of here just like you wanted, she told to herself, summoning up the strength to join the other ponies and rushing out of her friend. Rarity, no! Came Applejack's distant voice, but it was too late. One of the creatures already outside of host's reach of Rarity. It loomed, eyes widening in surprise, a smile widening even further. It's Rarity! The monster cried, pointing at the pony to alert its bipedal brethren. Rarity flinched back to bolt, but The male had grasped her tail in the nick of time, and she was held in her tracks. Eek! She screamed, and the creature seemed just as shocked as she was, letting go of her tail, which caused her to topple over. I'm sorry, it was reflex. Please, just stand still for a second. My friends wanted to meet you. We're not dangerous. The horrified pony recovered as quickly as she could. Oh, I know that, but you're all just too friendly now. Stay away from us. A crowd of at least a dozen of them was closing in on her now, yelling things like, We found Rarity! Oh my god, I can't believe it's her! I get to see her up close! The most frightening of all calls, How'd you get your perfect pelt so dirty? Oh, I can take care of that. Let me brush your hair, please. Many of them were holding up handheld devices, from which a light flashed repeatedly like cameras. I'll save you! Applejack erupted from a nearby bush with a flying jump kick, which was sidestepped by the creature with apparent ease. As the blonde pony fell and made a steady landing, she looked at the opponent, sizing him up. Nice dodge, she admitted. Applejack! The delight in his voice caused her to twitch, and then he continued bashfully, thanks. Picked up a few things from watching all that anime, I guess. What? Applejack had no idea what he was talking about, but she created the opportunity for Rary to flee. And with that, the ponies made a swift exit from the scene. No, wait! He called, flailing to keep the ponies there. Oh well, at least he found new inspiration for his rare Jack fic. Okay, before I even go on, I want to say this is the first time I've actually started reading it, so please excuse me not having all the voices correctly, not really trying, and just reading through it monotonely. I don't even really know what's going on. So, it's humans in Equestria, we already kind of can tell that, and I'll continue from here. I feel a little bad for leaving that one back there without even saying goodbye, the unicorn admitted when she and Applejack were a fair distance away, hiding in the garden brush near Ponyville's hospital and making quiet conversation. What are you saying now? I saw him grab your tail. Yes, but he didn't mean any harm, you know. You shouldn't have tried to kick him. That was harsh. Thank you for saving me earlier. I'm very sorry you had to split out from the group. That's better, Applejack said, peering out from behind the fluffy camellias. A brown stallion was walking by the hospital's wall, slowed as he was dragging a creature firmly clinging to his flank where they could see an hourglass-shaped cutie mark. I told you I don't have a damn TARDIS, he grumbled tirelessly, while the weird primate babbled on about what a big fan they were and would he please bring them with him wherever he was going. Eventually Rarity spoke up again. What are we spying on anyway? Isn't it the most dangerous area? The hospital is full of them. Applejack shrugged, finally forced to explain the risky idea she'd been contemplating. Since we're the only two now, I figured we could, infiltrate and go save Pinkie Pie. The fashionista pony immediately backed away, shaking her head furiously. Oh, no. We can't. There are too many. Applejack knew this wasn't going to happen, but she wouldn't be able to do it alone. It would be going mission unlikely to mission impossible. And yet, she would do it anyways. The sound of party music and loud cheering from the hospital carried all over Ponyville, an endless reminder of the difficulty their favorite pink pony was in. Shortly after the rift first happened, Pinkie Pie had taken it upon herself to throw an enormous welcome party for the new arrivals. Despite all the inhibition, clinging, and ceaseless bothering from the creatures, distracting the bulk of these fans, and allowing many citizens to escape. But the creatures kept coming out of who knows where, as if there was no end to them. The mirthful celebration lasted day and night. By the third day, Pinkie Pie had fallen ill. No pony had ever imagined the hyperactive pony could run out of energy. Even in her sorry state, she continued to keep most of the creatures contained in the hospital, but not by her own choice. They had decided all on their own, to throw her a get-well party until she recovered, which had been going strong ever since. Applejack clutched her hat with both hoofs, shaking with emotions as she implored Rarity. I need your help, Rarity. I swear, If we can just get her out of there, I'll say goodbye to reclaiming Sweet Apple Acres, and we can get to Canterlot. The white unicorn had put her front hoofs on Applejack's own, eyes shining with compassionate tears and hope. Not another word, Applejack. We'll save her. I promise.
Save who? Sounds like fun. I'll help.
A perky voice interrupted all of a sudden. Both Applejack and Rarity's gazes shot up at the figure hanging down to peek at them from a tree. They had to rub their eyes in bafflement, even though they knew it was true. Pinkie Pie? But how? You were sick. Applejack spoke while the pony's grins grew in unison.
Oh, you sillies,
giggled Pinkie as if nothing had happened.
Of course I got better, but I thought it would be really, really, really bad if I had to do any more singing and dancing and people entertaining. So I kept pretending to be sick. I'm telling you.
She began to flail in position.
I can't eat another slice of cake. Never thought I'd say this, but Pinkie's all partied out.
By her last sentence, she had lost her balance and fell off the tree branch, making a ruckus. Uh-oh, Pinkie.
Ugh.
Sorry.
Uh-oh, Pinkie, we're glad you're okay, but I thought you just told everybody where we are,
said Applejack from under the pink one, getting up. Nothing could ever be truer, Rarity continued smoothly. And now that you're safe, we must head to Canterlot. Seeing Applejack's expression, she was about to react to her statement, but the orange pony smiled and nodded, readjusting her farm hat. Let's go, then, she announced as a mob of partying creatures had begun to emerge, running from the building. Having heard Pinkie Pie's voice, the ponies galloped away out of reach, Pinkie Pie still sitting on Applejack's back, waving back to the crowd. Bye, guys. You can keep partying without me. Have fun and have cupcakes, too. Oh, and cake and sarsaparilla. They could only listen helplessly to the endless list of foodstuffs as the star of their party disappeared over the horizon. Well, that was chapter 1 of Rifty-Shifty. Honestly, not the worst thing I've read. But, again, I probably should have read over it first. Well, let me know what you think. Hope you enjoyed.